Good morning, rise and freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. We made it. It's Friday, baby. Hell yeah. Looking forward to the weekend. How about yourself? Got any fun plans? It's finally nice outside. We can actually spend some time outdoors and enjoy things. I don't think we're supposed to get any rain. I don't know. Let me ask the weather girl here. Joining us now in studio is the lovely Stephanie Peterson. Hey, Steffi. Good to see you.
Well, that's so funny you said that because when I was in second grade, I wanted to be a weather person, a weatherman, woman.
Good morning to Goatfoot21 joining us over on Twitch. It's nice to be. Yeah, Goatfoot.
Coolest names.
Yeah,
Blutreich.
Goatfoot. Yeah, that's over on Twitch. So,
People are so creative.
Yeah.
It's on Twitch.
Yeah, since we've been unsuspended from Twitch after our 14-day ban, we're able to talk to people like Goatfoot this morning. So
it's awesome. Do you like goats?
Yeah,
I do.
I guess that's what it is.
Yeah.
I like goats. I don't know if I like goat feet though. Anyways, let's talk about.
Yeah, no.
Let's talk.
Not to eat. Definitely not.
The big news today is that Elon Musk has announced a new CEO will take over the platform of Twitter in his wake. He'll be stepping down in 6 weeks. But the conspiracy crowd is already freaking out because apparently the potential new CEO, a woman by the name of Linda Yaccarino, is a former or a member of the World Economic Forum.
Oh.
That's the one that everybody hates because it's the live in the pod and eat the bugs, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Schwab.
I mean, his CEO days were very short-lived. I'm kind of shocked by this.
Well, I'm not shocked by it. I know he it was funny because when I looked at the stock price for Tesla, when he announced that he was taking over as CEO, the stock price of Tesla shot up because
they know he's going to be focusing on Tesla.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that that's got to be where the majority of his money is coming in these days because
SpaceX? I don't know. Do people give him money for that?
Yeah, they do. NASA pays him a lot for that because he does shuttling of cargo and astronauts, I think, sometimes to the International Space Station. So I know he does get paid for that, but it's probably not his most profitable business.
I mean, it's probably the most fun. I mean, Twitter versus space travel. I don't know. I'd pick the space stuff over Twitter.
I would think so. But speaking of space case, the woman who accused Donald Trump of rape, Carroll, she's got a lot of really weird tweets that came out this morning.
Yeah, I didn't know what she looked like or who she was until just this morning.
But you were really interested in her when I was talking about the Trump town hall yesterday with CNN. You were interested in this scenario that she described because at first you were confused.
I thought Trump was actually admitting to it because in the chat yesterday I was like, yeah, every man wishes he was Trump, because I thought Trump was like, oh yeah, we met, we went in the dressing room, like what. So I guess I just wasn't listening closely enough.
The way that he described what happened was very confusing because he made it sound as if it did happen. But the way he was doing, he was kind of describing it in third person at the town hall, essentially kind of saying it as if he was explaining it the way that they said it happened, which made it sound like he was explaining that this is how it happened. Yeah.
And he was like adding comments as if he was really there. It wasn't just like factual. He almost added subjective comments from himself of how he felt.
Yeah, we got to give a big shout out. Barney Styles got his gold bars today.
Whoa, from Lear Capital?
No. I wish. Maybe, Barney. Let's see.
Yeah.
No. So whenever you get to a certain month level of subscribers for the channel.
Oh my gosh, my mind is in the gutter, I guess.
No.
Thinking about gold.
No, there's no gold in the gutter. There might be some gold in the gutter. There is that one street in New York City that actually does have gold in the gutter.
Really?
Didn't I show you some of those videos from? I've never shown you that. Yeah.
You took videos of gold?
So no. So the Diamond District in New York City, the one where all the Jewish jewelers are. I might have told you about it before. People go in and they sweep the streets. And then there's gold and diamonds that come up.
Okay, yep.
Because people who are walking through that district tend to have more gold or diamonds on average.
Right.
So people will like go through the cracks and they'll find like little jewels in the cracks there in New York City.
Yeah.
Anyways, stop. We got to get.
Sorry, tangent.
Please stop.
Back to the gold bars.
I blame you, Stephanie.
Of this guy.
Anyways, that's what you get for being a monthly subscriber, and we appreciate that. All right.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Yeah. So the new Twitter CEO will allegedly be Linda Yaccarino. We'll talk about her in just a moment. Okay. The next topic that we have on the morning this morning is a husband who was poisoned by his wife. He wanted to stay for the kids, apparently, and didn't want to divorce her, even though he actually was concerned that he was being poisoned.
Mhm.
And she eventually did poison him and kill him. And then she wrote a book about her grief and went on a whole book tour about her grief.
This reminds me of that Stephen King movie about that woman who was obsessed with the author and she made him sick. What's it called?
This is well. There's like a syndrome for this too that goes on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This incident, like things like this have happened before
Oh, yeah.
in real life and in movies and in books and things
Yeah,
like
it sounds
that.
very familiar to me, just in things I've seen before.
In the movie The Sixth Sense, that Bruce
Oh,
Willis
yeah.
movie that happened, but it was like the mother was poisoning her daughter. And and like the ghost of the daughter was there and like showed them the way of like how like the mother had like been poisoning her with like antifreeze and stuff. It's not an uncommon occurrence, unfortunately. We'll talk about that today. So at 7:35, things that selfish people do that generous people don't. I've got a list. Are you going to diagnose yourself as generous?
Yeah, I already have.
You already have. Okay, well, we'll talk.
I read the points.
Yes, but speaking of gold, very briefly, and we will be talking about Lear Capital a little bit later, but if you bought gold this year, if you did buy from us, you did well. Because physical gold investments are up 5% in the first quarter of this year. So.
Absolutely. The person from Lear Capital that I talked to the other week, he said every 5 to 10 years, gold absolutely increases.
Chris Morrill over there, Munchausen by proxy.
Mm.
That's what it's called. We appreciate that. Surprised she doesn't know that one, says Chris Morrill.
Yeah. I specialize mostly, I'd say, in anxiety. That's what I really love to work with, but
Chris is still kind of triggered about yesterday when I was saying nice things about Donald Trump. So he's
okay. So he's picking on the wife.
He's picking on. He's just
that's all right. It's all right.
He's picking on both of us today.
I'll keep learning. It's okay.
Surprised she doesn't know that one.
Yeah. Actually,
at 8:00 today. Limb lengthening surgery. So I've got video of men who are recovering from limb lengthening surgery. One person in this video went from 5 foot 5 inches tall to 6 foot tall.
Wow. What is that? Body dysmorphia? Should I be throwing out therapy terms now?
Well, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
We're going to talk. I mean, you were comparing it to like boob jobs and things like that because it's a cosmetic surgery.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that a little bit this morning. And then at 8:00, speaking of couples here, habits of codependency in a relationship.
I'm also self-identified codependent as well.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that this morning. Habits of codependent couples. It should be an interesting topic today. We'll be glad to have our listeners join in on that one, and they can by sending us text messages today at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586 for the text line today. Good morning to all of our Rumblers today.
Good morning.
A nice group of people over there. Make sure you click that like button.
Yeah, you said a bunch of them were watching yesterday, like 100 people.
Crazy. Yeah, we had when the stream was over yesterday, we had like 88 people watching the show.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Kermode Bear over there on Rumble said Misery is the book with the crazy lady who
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, we just
watched a great movie.
I think we watched that this last winter.
We did.
Yeah, it was really good.
Very freaky.
Yeah, I had read the book, but I don't think I'd ever seen the movie. All right, so that habits of codependency. Okay. Oh, this is going to be the most fun topic today. I'm the most excited to talk about this one.
What is it?
Things that younger women do that older women don't understand. Things that younger women do that older women don't understand.
I'm a self-identified older woman, as I'm 35.
You're self-identified.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that today.
I am in my prime.
You're in your prime, just like Nikki Haley, right? And Nikki Haley in her prime, right? And we're going to talk about things that younger women do. Get your minds out of the gutter for that one. Things that younger women do that older women are confused by. We're looking forward to that. And we'll talk about that today at 8:30. All right, but let's talk about this woman, this Linda Yaccarino. She's Elon Musk's reported pick for CEO. So currently she's the NBC Universal ad sales chief.
So that's NBC News?
NBC News, yeah, which means I'm going to have to change the Elon Musk commercial for Wake Up America show.
No, it's going to have to be the Yaccarino lady saying, now Austin Peterson is the CEO of Twitter. No. I'm going to go on a spaceship.
No,
right?
Unfortunately now, that our Elon Musk commercial's out of date. Where he was naming me as the new CEO.
We have 6 more weeks.
Exactly, until she takes over. So. Rare Camellia on the live stream says age is a social construct.
That's right.
I identify as ageless. Okay.
Amen, girl. Amen. 50 is the new 40, and
I'm trying
yeah.
to have good vibes today, so I gotta be careful because I was gonna rip on her, but I better not.
Oh no.
Anyway, so
She's thinking positive.
Musk has
Yeah.
not publicly named Yacarino just yet, but she is Thursday, but said Thursday the CEO will start in about 6 weeks. We got to give a big shout out already because we got Studio 314 dropping $10 for the 10th guy.
Drop the money for it. What do you say?
He says, "Good morning, everyone. Schwab is on video, Klaus Schwab, saying he's going to put people in places of power to control speech. I do not get why Elon is making a WEF shill the CEO of Twitter."
Oh, so who is the Schwab person?
Klaus Schwab is the head of the World Economic Forum.
Oh,
He's the one with that weird, that creepy German accent where he's, where everybody's like, live in the pod, eats the
he
bug.
really talks like that?
He really does talk
Oh
like
boy.
Klaus Schwab.
And he's really from Germany, so it's like a legit accent?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so he's got that weird, creepy,
Oh, at least he's not the CEO. We'd really be scared.
well, see, so that's what the conspiracy theorists are freaking out about because they think that he said things like the world needs to be more like China. China is a
Ooh,
model for other nations.
really?
Yeah. So
Communist China.
communist China is a model for other nations. Camellia says, "Rip on me, I'm ready to fight." No, we're not going to fight this morning, Camellia.
Oh, we want to be nice today, generous. We're self-identified generous.
Until we get to the list of things that older women do
That's right.
that younger women that older women won't do, or that younger women do that older women are confused by.
Flabbergasted by these
Yes.
behaviors.
Yes. WEF founder Klaus Schwab must prepare for an angrier world. I'll tell you what.
Klaus.
Klaus Schwab.
So this is a governmental organization.
It's like what we would call not really. So it's kind of like one of those shady, like intergovernmental organization and stuff like that, where like members of all of the most powerful agencies and government in the world are all kind of like all members of this shadowy group and stuff like that. And
is it like the WHO, like the World Health Organization?
It's not even like it doesn't even do it, it's like worse than the WHO. The World Health Organization at least like offers vaccines to kids in Africa and things like that. So
at least do some good. Okay.
It's still going to trigger the conspiracy crowd, but
right.
but still, hold on.
I don't know how it will play out in November, but what we know is that we will end up with many more unemployed, and particularly also people in the gray economy, which are not counted for, who lose their jobs. So we will see definitively a lot of anger already now, but probably increased by the end of the year. Because this
you will eat the bugs. You will live in the pod.
And he literally said that you will eat the bugs and live in the pods.
No, but it's like the WEF like pushes that, right? And it's one of those things that it freaks people out because the World Economic Forum, there's like a page on their site where it talks about like the health benefits of eating bugs and how this is a great way to like stop climate change, etc.
Sure.
And then what really drives people crazy, and it gets even people like me fired up, is that you will then get all of these articles that will say, no one's trying to get you to eat bugs, blah blah blah, and it'll be like these mainstream organizations that are like, no, actually they're not trying to get you to eat bugs, and you're just like, dude, the article is right there on their site. They're trying. They want you to eat bugs and stuff like that.
They're saying eat bugs, and they're not saying to eat bugs at the same time.
Well, here's the thing: they want us to stop eating meat. They want us to stop eating which bugs, I guess, we should be
the Green New Deal. Yes.
They want us to stop eating cows. They want us to stop eating farm animals that put out methane.
Factory farming, pollution.
Yes, they want us to stop eating things that help contribute to our overall health, and they want us to all be little vegans living in pods and eating mealworms at the very best, at the very worst, right? So, anyways, so this Linda Yaccarino character, this is the story, right? She's a member of the World Economic Forum, which is what's got people freaked out, and deservedly so, because some of her comments that have come out, here's the thing: the World Economic Forum doesn't believe in free speech. They're advocating that we be more like China. And so when you name somebody from that institution, of course people are going to freak out, right? But here's the problem that a lot of us need to deal with, because populism is anti-elitism.
Mhm.
Who do you, who would you pick out of the local Kiwanis club? No offense.
I don't know what
The,
that is.
how about this? The local Rotary Club, the
Okay.
local Lions Club. Who
Yep.
would you pick out of the local Lions Club to run a multi-billion-dollar institution?
Who would I pick?
Yeah,
Nobody.
why not?
I don't know. I just don't know that the
How
Lions
about this?
Club,
How about the local
the
garden
values are
club?
in alignment.
How about this? How about
The
the
local
local car?
garden
But
club?
how about this? Who would you pick out of the local garden club to run a multi-billion-dollar institution
I guess the best person to know how to lead would be the leader, the president
of the
of the
local garden club?
club. Yeah.
Do you think that's a good idea, Stephanie?
No,
No, if you're trying to build a
no.
profitable
I
institution,
would want someone who has a lot of
you think
experience.
so? Okay. Do
Yes.
you think that people who have lots of experience running major multinational corporations are hanging out at the local Rotary?
No,
No, they're probably not
they're
hanging.
in a different league.
Yeah, yeah, they're
Yes.
probably not sitting around watching Infowars,
Right.
at 2 o'clock in the morning and smoking weed every day,
I
right?
don't think so.
No, no, no. So there's a bit of a problem here because typically people who manage to make it to the top of these institutions tend to be part of these intragovernmental institutions in order to do, better networking and things like that.
Right.
Right. And so the the issue here is that, we all like the joke of the commercial was Austin Peterson gets, I'm gonna putting him as CEO. There
Right.
was Larry Sharp was like, let's make him do it. Let's make Michael Malice and all that kind of stuff. And
Right.
as much as we love these people, as much as I'm sure you like me, obviously, duh.
Yeah.
Do you think that Larry Sharp or Michael Malice or myself, are as qualified as this woman? Right? Ideologically, we're in line, but I don't have experience running an international multi-billion-dollar corporation.
She does. She does have experience running
Right.
multi-billion-dollar companies.
Right. I guess the thing is that once you join an institution like that, you're like forever tainted in some people's minds. Because like
Sure.
Tulsi Gabbard, she was a member of the WEF.
Well, a lot of libertarians love her.
Exactly, they do. So well, if you're sexy,
So there's some hypocrites going on here.
maybe it's that Linda Yaccarino isn't like a snack. You know what I mean? If she was
She
like,
doesn't look cute.
if people confuse, and I think Tolstoy wrote about this, people confuse beauty with goodness.
That's right.
People think, oh, you're attractive, that must mean you're a good person.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So like,
Okay, so it's just because of her looks. That's why people don't want her. Okay.
yes, it's amazing how complete. This is Leo Tolstoy. I can't believe we're quoting Tolstoy today. It's amazing how complete is the delusion that beauty is goodness. A handsome woman talks nonsense. You listen and hear not nonsense, but cleverness. She says and does horrid things, and you see only charm.
Yeah.
And if a handsome woman does not say stupid or horrid things, you at once persuade yourself that she is wonderfully clever and moral. Interesting, isn't it?
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah, here we go. Now,
Sir, that's what it's all about
Camille's
nowadays.
Exactly. Camille's got the real conspiracy here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, hear me out. Maybe Elon is infiltrating the WEF to take it over from the inside. There you go. That's what it
I mean,
is.
I'm sure he wants to influence a lot of different areas of the world.
Sure, but the WEF is like the major like conspiracy theory vector right now at the moment. Whereas Easy 2 of 2021 over in the live stream, he says, if Linda Yaccarino is connected to the WEF, I will lose respect for Elon and I will leave Twitter. See, a lot of people are going to feel that way, Stephanie.
I was reading in the article about her. She did work for the Trump administration, and she also did work for the Biden administration. She did something with fitness and diet with the Trump administration.
You talking about Linda Yaccarino?
Yes, and then she did something about vaccinations and the Pope with the Biden administration.
Interesting.
Yes, so she's worked for both Republicans and Democrats, so she's on both sides.
Yeah, well, and those are the people who tend to get ahead, right? The ones who manage to navigate the waters between both political parties, right?
Yeah.
Musk has said that the platform is, in response to some of these criticisms, Musk has said that the platform's commitment to open source transparency and accepting a wide range of viewpoints remains unchanged. So you were right. She was appointed by Trump to serve a 2-year term on his Council of Sports Fitness and Nutrition. So that should make Trump supporters feel good. But then you're right. She did do something with Biden, right?
Yeah, with the COVID and the Pope.
COVID and the Pope. Hold on, let me see. She also partnered with the Biden White House in 2021 to create a coronavirus campaign vaccine campaign featuring Pope
So
Francis.
she's pro-vax.
That's for the conspiracy crowd is going to freak out on that one too.
I mean, I have a lot of faith in Elon Musk. Maybe I have too much trust, but I think this dude knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what moves he's making. He's choosing wisely in his own way.
Yep. Barney Styles says, "Them big old socialist titties are going to get us in the end."
Oh, does she have large?
No.
Does she have a large? Okay.
She's not a snack. She's
All
not.
right.
She's not. Coconut milk mommy.
I mean, she looks like she's probably in her 60s based on the photo I saw. I'm assuming 50s, 60s.
She may have been a snack at like 18, but
yeah, pretty much everybody is.
Studio 314 says the WEF will use any party they think they can maneuver. Just because she worked for both doesn't make her trustworthy. There are double agents in spy agencies. Very true. Very true.
Yeah. She just knows how to network.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And that's what you got to do to get successful. I once had a supervisor that said 10% of the jobs you get is because of pure luck or skill, and 90% of the jobs are because you know somebody.
That's very true. All right, I got to use the restroom real quick. I'm going to go to a brief commercial break. Stephanie, when we get back, I want to talk about the woman who accused Donald Trump of grape.
Oh.
We're going to say the word grape.
I like that word. Yes, much better than the other one.
Yes. We're going to talk about the woman who accused Donald Trump of grape. And
I can tell my grape joke.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, be careful with the grape jokes. Okay, so when we get back, we'll talk about the woman who accused Donald Trump of grape and the weird tweets that have come out between, well, let's just say her and a dog. It's very gross.
Bestiality.
Shut up, Stephanie.
Oh.
We're demonetized now. Thanks a lot. Now you got to drop some money in a tip jar. We'll be back.
I'm in trouble.
We'll be back with more the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com.
I like shooting things, but whenever I can't shoot something, I like to cut things. My life isn't all about shooting and stabbing and cutting, though. Sometimes I have to do actual work, but when I work, I still like to have fun. And there's nothing less fun than trying to cut with a crappy knife. Thankfully, from the ancient sect of Christian knights, who also loved cutting and stabbing, comes a new implement that has received my personal blessing, the Templar knife. Like the ancient sword of Excalibur, you don't choose a Templar knife, it chooses you. You just decide what kind you want on the website first, however, and then order it online, and then it chooses you. The Templar knife comes in a variety of shapes. As a man of culture and taste, I have decided I will never use a terrible knife again. And thanks to the inspiration provided by this excellent product, I have decided to launch a new crusade against anyone using less than superior knives. Join me, brothers and sisters, by visiting uppercuttactical.com/pages/Templar-knives. That's a lot of slashes. For that, you'll need a Templar knife. For 10% off, use code AP for Liberty and join me in a quest for glory, for liberty, for Christendom, for the Templar knife. Get yours today. Fire.
Hello, this is Barack Obama, and let me tell you why Austin Peterson stinks, and you should never pay attention to anything that he has to say. First of all, he's a libertarian, and we all know libertarians are idiots. They don't realize how important government is to everything that we do. I recently became aware that Austin has opened up a libertarian shop at apforlibertyshop.com. Now, I'm asking you as a personal favor to me that you never ever visit apforlibertyshop.com With all of the great Liberty merchandise there, the last thing that we need to do is to get people spreading this message around the country, because then they might start thinking that they don't need government. And that's the last thing that good Democrats like us want. So if you love democracy, like me, and hate freedom, then don't visit AP for Liberty Shop. Like I said, whatever you do, do not visit apforlibertyshop.com. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the streets, and new laws are needed at every level. But law alone cannot make men see right.
I never met this woman. I never saw this woman. This woman said, I met her at the front door of Bergdorf Goodman, which I rarely go into other than for a couple of charities. I met her in the front door. She was about 60 years old, and this is like 22, 23 years ago. I met her in the front door of Bergdorf Goodman. I was immediately attracted to her, and she was immediately attracted to me. And we had this great chemistry. We're walking into a crowded department store. We had this great chemistry, and a few minutes later, we end up in a room, a dressing room of Bergdorf Goodman, right near the cash register. And then she found out there were locks on the door, so she said, I found one that was open. She found one. She learned this at trial. She found one that was open. What kind of a woman meets somebody and brings them up, and within minutes, you're playing hanky-panky in a dressing room, okay? I don't know if she was married then or not. John Johnson, I feel sorry for you, John Johnson.
Mr. President, can I
think of it.
I know you're recounting what she said, but Mr. President.
Let me just, if I could, because you asked the question.
This was a
just
jury,
so you understand,
though.
if I was walking in at the, because I was very famous then, and I owned the Plaza Hotel right next door, and I owned buildings around it, I'm not going into a dressing room of a crowded department store. Then I say, if she was being raped, and by the way, they said she wasn't raped. Okay, that was her charge. It wasn't.
They found that you sexually abused her.
No, what? Say what? They did. They said he didn't rape her, and
They did not
I didn't
say
do
he
anything else either. You know what? Because I have no idea who the hell she is.
But Mr.
I
President,
don't know who this woman
can I
is.
ask you, given your recounting
I
your
don't
version?
know who, and I tell you this.
But Mr.
Are
President,
you ready?
can I
swear
ask
on
you
my
because-
children, which I'd never do. I have no idea who this woman. This is a fake story, made up story. We had a horrible Clinton-appointed judge. He was horrible. He allowed her to put everything in. He allowed us to put nothing in.
Mr. President,
this is a
Is this the woman that they say he paid off, or that was the other woman that he was with?
Good morning, Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. We're grateful to have you here. Make sure you smash that like button if you're enjoying the content. Also, subscribe to our channel, no matter where you're watching us today. Could be on YouTube, could be on Rumble, could be on Facebook, could be on our new Freedom Hub app through the Spreely Network. Love to have you join us. And every morning, Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. On Fridays, we make it a little bit more fun, unless there's major, huge breaking news, which we are just talking about some of that today. But my lovely wife, Stephanie Peterson, is joining us in studio today.
Yeah, there's just so many women going around Trump here. I'm just so confused. If this is the woman that he supposedly paid off, or if he paid off the porn star he was with.
It's a little confusing.
What?
Studio 314 says CNN must need ratings bad to have done this. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's juicy stuff.
It's very juicy. But this E. Jean Carroll lady, she's got some of her tweets that are coming out this morning, and you read some of them, Stephanie.
Yes, very briefly. I wanted to read more.
They are very, well, disturbing and creepy. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a lot of yikes. So the woman's name, E. Jean Carroll, right? This is one of her tweets. And please, just understand that we're going to lose monetization from the video for this. So we're not going to be able to make money from this video other than people dropping in the tip jar. So
I'll try to watch my words.
if you wouldn't mind, for the lovely Steffi P, drop in the tip jar today. I'm repeating what E. Jean Carroll has said.
So she must be in her 80s now, because he said she was in her 60s back when
she was ancient.
She saw him.
She was ancient when she said they met. And she's basically like, Methuselah mummified at this moment. Here's what she says. Tip I learned from my dog.
Oh.
Chase the male until he collapses with exhaustion. Then jump him.
I guess that's what she did with Trump. She jumped him in the dressing room.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be surprised one bit.
And throw their panties at anybody who's shiny.
It's not far-fetched. Okay, I know that people don't think women are paragons of modesty, but it's not far-fetched from my knowledge of general that a woman could meet a man and hop into bed with him
absolutely
in under an hour.
One night stands happen.
It's not even just like a one night stand where it's like just a one night stand, but in terms of like from the time of meeting someone until the time of copulation, it's not unrealistic to expect that or to think that a woman would do something like that. Right. Now, if a lot of people would expect that of Donald Trump, right? But he honestly makes a really good point, because here's the thing. He's been famous basically his entire life. And he owned the Plaza Hotel across the street from Bergdorf Goodman.
Right.
And she's claiming that he went into a dressing room in the crowded department store right next to the cash register checkout where there were people. This is a man who was an expert at tabloids and who would have known that if he had done something like that, it would have been very obvious. And,
right.
People are going to talk, and it's going to get printed in the New York Post the next day.
But would he let his manly parts dictate what he does? Maybe they just got a little too loud.
I'm not entirely ruling it out, but I would say if I was on a jury, I would say they didn't convict him of what she said, which was grape.
Right.
She said it was grape. They said
I don't know the difference between sexual abuse and grape.
Well,
I don't
grape
know.
is, at least according to what the judge said the other day on the show, grape is penis and vagina. Although some states, depending on the state, some states will say any other item that goes into an orifice could potentially.
So sexual abuse could be just not doing the actual act.
Right. Well, putting your hands on somebody.
Okay. Touching her inappropriately would be abuse.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha.
Anyways, more weird tweets from this E. Jean Carroll lady. She says that the man who fails to seduce a woman says she wasn't hot enough. The woman who fails to enchant a man says he was unworthy.
So if you can't get a man to like you, then he's unworthy?
Right, but a man who can't get a woman says that they're not attractive enough. I mean, what's the difference really between being unworthy or not being hot enough in some sense?
Both people aren't worthy.
So weird. E. Jean Carroll also tweeted, and this was in 2011, would men have invented chastity belts, veils, and Crocs if women weren't just unbelievably hot? Honey, you were born to seduce.
No, men were born to have sex with as many women as they could.
Yes.
That's what men were put on this earth to do.
Yeah. She also tweeted a question in 2015 with, that picture, that scene from Wolf of Wall Street where
Yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio's character is like goes into like the baby's room, and then there's Margot Robbie, the hottie, and she's like got her legs like spread
Oh,
open.
she's seducing him. That was a great scene. You and I enjoyed that one.
Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah.
E. Jean Carroll. So she tweeted a picture of that scene, and she asked this question: "Any ideas on how to dominate a man?"
See, this woman, she's manipulative. You can tell based on her thoughts.
Yes. She also
She's premeditated.
Yeah, she also tweeted, "A chap is not a mind reader. Show him what you like, or he will soon regret he even has a pen 15." If you know what I mean. What can be?
If this woman was married.
E. Jean Carroll says, "What can be done about the penis? It gets large when you want it small, and stays small when you want it large."
Oh my God, what is she?
This is her tweets. These are her public tweets. She says, "How do you know your unwanted sexual advance is unwanted until you advance it?"
Well, apparently that's her problem, is she doesn't know her advances are unwanted, and she
Right.
just hops onto people in dressing rooms.
This is why you've got to this is why you've got to be so careful what you tweet these days.
I know. This woman is totally giving herself away.
Yeah, for sure. Mr. New C says, "That's a sad worldview, Miss Peterson." It's not Miss Peterson, it's Mrs. Peterson.
About why men came to this earth. Well, biologically speaking, they came to this earth to spread their seed. That's just how they're made up.
Mr. New C, I think, probably looks at things more towards the what should we call it? The mystical worldview, perhaps? The religious worldview?
Oh, probably one man, one woman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I was born to.
I mean, testosterone makes men do things, okay?
It does, and I'm glad it does.
Yes.
There is no such thing as a slut, says E. Jean Carroll. Only sexual geniuses.
Oh, a slut equals sexual genius.
Yeah.
There you go.
No. Anyways, science. This is another tweet of hers. Weird. A man's right hand reveals the size of his penis.
Well, they say when you got big hands, you got big something else.
She goes on to say, if that hand's reaching for its wallet, it's big enough.
Oh my gosh.
She sounds like absolute scumbag, but
she sounds like a sex addict. That seems to be all she thinks about.
Yeah, which honestly, things like this, like if they had made it into the court case, I don't know. But it's
why didn't they? Wouldn't they take any records from phones, computers?
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Neil Struharic texted in today. He says that yes, he's enjoying the stream on Rumble.
Oh, awesome. I know he watches Rumble. He showed us what Rumble looks like when we went to his house.
Yeah. So for a while, because the internet was slow, we were having to stream it in like a downgraded version.
Yes.
But now that we're up to speed and streaming full blown HD, he says it looks great. So he's really enjoying it.
Wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Neil. We miss you.
Yes, Neil, good to see you this morning. You can text the show today, too, at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. What else do we have in the topic jar for us today?
Can I say my grape joke?
Yeah, okay. Say your grape joke. Be careful.
What kind of dance does a grape like to do?
What?
Raising the roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have a grape joke as well, you can send it in to us. Make sure you text the show today.
My joke was about the fruit.
Yeah. Real man's refrigerator. My dad just sent me a picture of his refrigerator.
What did he do to his refrigerator?
The beer that he has in the fridge, because he's on an anti-Bud Light kick.
Because of Dylan Mulvaney, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yes.
He says, so it's got beers, and it's Dos Equis and Yingling. And he's finally on the Yingling train. I finally did, yes. He's got beer, and he's got Long Johns, so donuts. He's got beer and donuts in his fridge. So congratulations.
He is a real man.
He is a real man.
And he raised a real man. You're a real man over there.
That's right. I'm a real man. Okay, so can we move on to a different topic?
Sure.
All right, good. The husband poisoned by wife. This one was wild.
Oh, boy.
The husband of a Utah grief book author, Curry Richens, suspected that she was trying to poison him, but he stayed for the kids' sake. And this story is pretty wild, but you had an interesting take on this one, Steffi. Do you want to share with us before I play this clip real quick of this creepy lady?
Yeah, well, the fact that he stayed for his kids, I mean, I totally understand that because in this world today, men don't typically get custody. I know you've had people on before on shows that talk about when they get divorced, they literally have to fight for even having 50-50 custody for their kids. And so he was probably worried about that. He was worried that his kids would be stuck with their mom and maybe she would try to poison them or hurt them. So by being in the house, he was probably trying to protect them because he cared more about his kids than he did himself as a parent.
Well, there's this myth that people like Camellia and others perpetuate that women are the caretakers when it comes to kids. There's this caretaker theory of motherhood.
Yeah, well, clearly in this case, this woman is not a very good caretaker. She's making people sick.
Not only did she poison her husband and he died, but then
Yes.
she went on a book tour, wrote a children's book about her grief. And this is an interview that she did where she was talking, helping children cope with grief and loss. Look at this.
My husband passed away unexpectedly last year. So
Unexpectedly.
it's March 4th
It was expected.
a 1-year anniversary for us, and he was 39. It completely took us all by shock. And we have 3 little boys, 10, 9, and 6. And you know, my kids and I kind of wrote this book on the different emotions and grieving processes.
Pause. Imagine making your kids help you write a book about your husband, their father that you just murdered, about the grief.
I mean,
and
how
all that.
sick is that? That
Yeah.
is so twisted.
Black
That
Widow.
we've experienced last year.
Poisoned her husband at their home in Camas, Utah.
So it was proven she did this? Or I wonder if she is being charged with murder. I don't know if she's actually gone to jail yet. I don't know the ending of the story.
So I'll share it with you right now.
Gosh, and look at that. The child's father is dead, and now this woman's probably going to jail, and the kids are going to lose both parents.
Yep.
That's horrible.
So the family life is upended. Eric died in March of 2022, raising his family and investigator suspicions that Curry had killed him with a fentanyl-laced Moscow Mule. Then she wrote a tearjerker book about children's grief. But here's the thing. He apparently warned his family. He goes,
He did.
if I die, she did it.
Yes. And then he would tell his family, I think she poisoned me because he got sick on certain occasions. One time when they were in Greece, and then on Valentine's Day, he got sick. And then she also did something weird. She tried to get on his life insurance, I believe, right before she killed him. But then the lawyer put his sister on his life insurance without her permission.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how a lawyer can do something like that.
This is kind of crazy. So listen to this. So Eric, the man who died, had previously told a friend he thought his wife was trying to poison him after he got sick following a Valentine's Day dinner at their home. This is according to court documents in the battle between Curry, the woman, and Eric's family for his $3.6 million estate. Eric's sister also told the court her brother became violently ill after Curry gave him a drink during a trip to Greece a few years ago, telling his sibling he thought his wife had tried to kill him. So she had tried multiple times.
I wonder if he said anything to her after he got sick. You know, I'd be curious to know how she reacted when he got sick. If she took the caregiver role and was like, "Oh, honey, let me take care of you."
Yeah, right. Or was she?
I'm your savior.
Or was she more like you're fine, blah 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 blah?
Right.
You know,
Did she want him to be sick and treated him like that?
Skordas admitted it might have been naive. That's the lawyer, for Eric to stay despite suspecting his wife. But he said that the late lawyer, he was a lawyer, lawyer's love for his family outweighed his suspicions. He was worried about losing custody of his kids.
Absolutely.
The spokesman added that if Curry is convicted as Eric's killer, so apparently it's in doubt, it would be even more distressing for the family since she made money and became famous for her writings on how to help children get through the loss of a loved one. It's the great irony of the case. It would be all the sad and more heart-wrenching. Curry allegedly tried to name herself beneficiary to her husband's life insurance policy, but the lawyer changed it back to his sister's name
Sneaky. I don't know legally how you can do that.
without telling his wife.
The lawyer. So he's the one I thought his lawyer switched it without telling anyone. Okay. He was the lawyer who switched it.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. I thought he had another lawyer that switched it.
No, he was the lawyer. That's why it's
Gotcha.
confusing.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, what?
He changed.
Okay.
He changed his life insurance policy to his sister's name.
Right. He knew she was out for his money. I mean, he was a rich man, and she knew that.
Yep. He died on March 4th, 2022, just a day before Corey closed, that's the wife, on a $2 million deal to buy a 22,000 square foot unfinished home, a deal for which Eric refused to pay.
Yep. And then she flipped that house and resold it. She had plans.
Yep. After buying the new house, she put it back on the market 2 weeks later, trying to more than double her money by flipping it for nearly $5 million.
Yes.
She wanted his money so that she could flip these houses.
I think
she's greedy.
Yeah, greedy, horribly jealous of him.
And just a psychopath. I mean, it's just bonkers.
She's a crazy one.
Sick and twisted. That's what you would call.
That's right. That's what we diagnosed her with. Crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. That bitch is crazy. That bitch is crazy.
I feel bad for the kids, no matter what.
Yeah, kids are the ones who really lose. It's
I mean, all they have is the children's book now.
Yep. All right, we're gonna move on. You ready to go on to the next topic?
Yes.
Things that selfish people do that generous people don't.
Okay.
Things that selfish people do. Murder their husband. And
she's selfish, I would say.
Or she's very selfish. Yeah, for sure. But we got the top 10 list of things that selfish people do that generous people don't. Jamie Marie Pope is back in the live stream, by the way.
Hey.
Good morning, Jamie. I guess my little tactic to get her back in the other day worked.
What's your tactic? What did you do?
Oh, I just said that, essentially that she's not really, and she's not really a member of the Cantina crew anymore. So I didn't kick her out, but I just suggested that she had been gone for so long. Right. As a matter of fact, it was a very Elon Musk move, because I read this morning that apparently Twitter is going to, if you don't log into your account in 30 days, then they'll delete your account.
Oh my God.
Twitter. Yeah.
I have like a sock account, and so that'll probably be deleted. I never log into that.
Well, there you go. So Jamie Marie Pope is back. She's been coming in the last couple of days when we suggested that perhaps she was no longer Cantina crew.
She knows she's still part of the crew.
Okay, well, she's
one of us.
Maybe we should just have like an honorary or something like that, or
like a grandfathered in. She'll never lose her title.
Well, we could say in memoriam.
No.
Just kidding. Just teasing.
We do have to talk about a float trip this summer with our Cantina crew.
That's right. Yeah.
We do need to get that together.
Do we want to talk about this now?
Whenever you want to.
Let's do it now, because the show is almost, like, the first hour is almost done, and we still got a lot of things to do. We got to talk about gold. Okay. We got to talk about things selfish people do. We got to talk. We got a lot of stuff to get to, but we can't forget. So, so what's the story on the float trip here?
So the story is it's going to be in August, I would say. And we know for sure that some people of the Cantina crew are coming, such as Quest Fanning. Joni Rankin said she wants to come. John Rail said he wants to come. So I think a lot of Missouri people will probably be showing up. So sometime in August. So if you can, DM me, Steffi P for Liberty, and tell me when in August would be the best weekend, because I'm trying to just narrow down our focus, and we want to do a float trip. Probably, I'm assuming in Eminence, maybe.
I'm guessing that the first week is probably going to be better for everybody, because typically, like, people with kids, like, you're going back to school in August and stuff. So probably the earlier the better, or maybe even like the last week of July, because
I'm going to be in Michigan visiting my family, so we'll have to figure this out.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll have to figure this out.
We'll have to figure it out, because we do want to do a float trip and get together for the Cantina crew this summer here in Missouri. So if you're interested and you want to join us, make sure you email Steffi P your interest in joining us for a float trip. So
then I'll try to work out the logistics, and we'll see what we can figure out, and we'll keep everybody updated.
Yep, for
I'm
sure.
the party planner.
Yep, for sure. Jamie Marie Pope says, I want to float with y'all. Qualifying is in August. Cheeky Mare says, what is a float trip?
Oh, see, I didn't know that either when I lived in Michigan. So apparently here in Missouri, we have rivers that you can float on. They move you along.
Yes. So
in Michigan, I only had lakes, so I had to propel myself in a kayak.
I typically like to canoe, but you can also just rent a raft or a inner tube, and you just float on the inner tube.
Literally float.
Yeah, I mean, just swim and splash and play. And sometimes there's rope swings on the river, and you grab the rope swing and you swing out into the river. This is what we do in Missouri. We've got a lot
Yeah.
of beautiful like streams and rivers and things like that.
And then you fall over in your canoe and then you lose your beer.
Yep, for
Yeah.
sure. Robbie Thurman just dropped $5 in the tip jar.
Oh, thank you, Robbie.
Yay.
We hope you come to the float trip. I know he usually comes to our
Yeah,
trips.
he says he's in for the float trip. He doesn't care
Yay.
what day.
That's awesome.
Jamie Marie Pope says it's like tubing, right? Yes, it's like tubing. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like tubing. Yes. Jamie Marie Pope just tweeted a picture of her awesome mug, and she's joining us this morning. It's nice to see.
Yes, she did get a Wake Up America Show mug.
Yeah, so apforlibertyshop.com has the Wake Up America Show mugs, and some people were like, were buying some. Like, I think Tolly got some of the. She got the sweater.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we've got a bunch of Wake Up America Show merch, which is it's a good time to get it. Check it out right now. Actually, AP for
You got to wear it to the Cantina Crew reunion event.
Yeah, for sure. If Andy Opperman comes, we saw Andy. He was wearing his.
We did.
Yeah, Andy Opperman came to our.
We had a bonfire.
We had a bonfire party last weekend, and Andy showed up wearing his Cantina Crew.
Yeah, he looked awesome.
Yeah,
it looked really good on him.
He did. So if you're interested in getting any of our awesome Wake Up America Show merch, check it out at apforlibertyshop.com.
Yeah, his shirt literally said Cantina Crew on it.
Cantina Crew for life. Yes, you can get those over at apforlibertyshop.com. Our friend Cheeky Mare says, my favorite quilt stores are in Missouri. Maybe I'll make it a long weekend.
That'd be awesome.
It's a great idea.
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, so let's get back on topic here with the news. John Rail says, I need to buy a mug and a few other things. Good thing today is payday.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. And John, don't forget, because you are a monthly subscriber, you do have that 20% off.
Yep, remember your code.
Remember
Super
your
secret
discount
code.
codes. If you are a monthly subscriber, you do get that 20% off.
If you can't remember it, DM us.
Yeah, just DM us. We'll give it out to you. Okay, so no worries, no worries. All right. 8 things that selfish people do.
Okay, I'm ready.
Number 1, things that selfish people do. Having a me, myself, and I attitude. All right. Selfish people live in a one-way street. They like to be at the receiving end of every effort in every relationship, often taking too much without giving back anything. It's always me, myself, and I for them. Generous people, on the other hand, are the exact opposite. They always look after the welfare of others, willingly giving away what they can and more to those in need, but never expecting anything in return. They give more than they take because their actions are motivated by a passion to help others rather than a desire for benefit. Think of someone who you know is generous. They never did anything that solely benefits them or outright harms other people, did they? That's what makes them so empathetic and kind. You are a giver.
I am a people pleaser giver.
You are not just a people pleaser. People pleaser is just, could be obsequious and just trying to make people happy. But you are generous with your time and your energy and your efforts. You are the type of person who is like, you are a giver in the biggest sense of the word.
Oh, I am. I think I do need to be slightly bit more selfish, though, in order to have a good balance so I don't get burnt out. Because sometimes I get burnt out on giving, and then I get really tired and exhausted, and I don't feel so great. So I just got to watch myself. Don't give too much. You're still generous if you set boundaries.
Yes, for sure. If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, good morning. I'm your host, Austin Peterson. Glad to have you here. Hope you're feeling good on a Friday. Family Friday means that my beautiful wife, Stephanie Peterson, joins us in studio.
Hello.
Glad to have her here today. Right now, we're talking about things that make you generous versus selfish. Our friend Andy Opperman says he really likes the shirt from AP for Liberty Shop. It's nice and
comfy material. It's very breathable.
Yes, it is.
And they wash incredibly well. Like a lot of nice shirts don't wash very well, but like these ones that you sell, they actually wash really good.
Yeah, the AP for Liberty Shop merch is really good quality stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cheeky Mare says, like most things, I am moderate on that number. She's leaning towards generosity.
I think that's good.
I think I can be selfish, much more than you. I think when you compare me to you, I look like a very selfish person. But
we're
but
kind of opposites, sort of.
Not. I wouldn't say that as opposites because you've described me as generous in other ways.
You're more generous than me in terms of gift giving, and in terms of reaching out to people. Because you like call people just to see how they're doing, and I don't do that so much.
Yeah, whenever I can tell that something's wrong with like a friend or somebody, even if it's not like somebody that I was really close to, right? I usually call them.
Yeah.
Just kind of try and pep them up a little bit, because like it can change people's lives sometimes. Just a phone call at the right moment,
Absolutely. And you're also much more generous than I am with mail carriers. You did give them snacks.
Yes.
At one time.
Yes.
I'm more cheap My desire to be cheap overpowers my desire to be generous.
Yes.
In terms of gifts.
One of our listeners, Corey C, asks if there is a sizing chart. There typically is.
Oh, for shirts
For
and
shirts.
items.
Yeah. So just let me know which item you're most interested in, because I can fix it up for you and let you know. One of the things on there that I actually really want that I haven't bought is the bomber jacket. Have you seen the Cantina Crew bomber jacket?
No.
So yeah,
I think, does it have a chicken on the back?
it does have the chicken on
Okay.
the back, right? So here's the thing. So the bomber jacket is got like these white sleeves and stuff like that. I can show it to you in just a moment. But it's beautiful.
I like bomber jackets.
Yeah, it's a beautiful bomber jacket, and for the Cantina Crew, they get 20% off. So it's definitely something that you want to check out if you're into the Cantina Crew merch. But just let me know which of the items you're most interested in, because um, the items that we have there, if they don't have a sizing chart on it, like listed on the shop, I can get one. So just let me know which ones you're like
Okay.
most interested in if you're looking for a sizing chart. So
Send us your dimensions.
yeah, well,
your
just
measurements.
tell us which items you're most interested in that you need a sizing chart for, and I'll hook you up, because we do have those sizing charts. They just haven't been published on every item.
Right.
Okay, so we're talking about things that selfish people do. They lack empathy and kindness. I would diagnose you as empathetic and kind.
Yeah.
I am not very kind, but I say that I am empathetic. I do feel people's pain, but I don't necessarily treat everyone kindly. I'm
sorry for them.
Well, that would be empathy, right? So some selfish people have a hard time practicing empathy and kindness because their focus is primarily on themselves and their own needs.
Right. You're very empathetic when you see somebody struggling online. I know it really gets to you, especially when you have friends that have like lost somebody. It really affects you deeply.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if like kindness and empathy really can go together.
Those should
hand in
probably
hand.
be
They
separate
should be
categories,
separate.
probably, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And
for sure.
sometimes for me, I get empathy burnout because literally I have to empathize with everybody, as a therapist. And so it's like when I'm talking to family or friends, I struggle to feel that empathy sometimes because I'm just burnt out from feeling it so much.
Yeah, and Shiki Mare, she actually has a really good comment where she says, "I'm too empathetic in certain instances." That can definitely be a danger, because there are people who will absolutely take advantage of you if you are if they know that you're too empathetic. And they know they can take advantage of you. There are people who will take from you all day long.
Like those animal commercials that play "In the Arms of the Angel," and then all the empaths are like, "Oh, let me give money, please."
From here.
I'm not good at giving money to charities. I don't feel sorry for a lot of charities.
Add size table to description, and there we go. I'm like publishing stuff on
Oh my
the.
gosh, you're editing the shop during the show.
I'm editing the shop during the show.
Multitasking.
Yeah. Mock-ups, color, size. Yes, there we go.
He's like making a new design while he's doing the show.
I really like
God Gun, Golden Girls.
Oh yeah, I'm
making those shirts.
I'm working on that one today, actually. Hold on. I'm gonna
and God Gun, Golden Guys. Oh, bless you. Oh boy. Oh.
My grandpa used to sneeze like that.
Oh boy.
I sound just exactly like my grandpa hands when he sneezed.
You need a silencer.
A suppressor.
A suppressor. I get suppressor and silencer mixed up.
Yeah, it's the same.
I call them the same.
Their real names are suppressors, but like in movies and things, and people like colloquially they call them silencers. But they don't silence anything. It's still a loud explosion.
Oh, okay. So slightly silenced.
Yes. Let's move on to the next thing. We're talking about the list of things that selfish people do that generous people don't. 3, having a lack of remorse. This one I definitely can say I have remorse, right?
Yeah, you have remorse. You say sorry.
Lacking remorse is a common trait of a selfish person. If you've ever tried to confront a partner for something they did that hurt you, and you ended up being gaslit into believing it's not that bad, that's a sign that they're selfish, because they're unable to look past their own needs and feelings to recognize yours. This lack of remorse might be because of an inability to care about others or just plain ignorance. But regardless, they act without considering the consequences. Who cares if one or two people get hurt if they get what they want in the end?
Right.
There's probably a lot of politicians like that.
But it doesn't mean you shouldn't stand your ground. I mean, if you really think you're right, don't just back down just to make the other person feel good.
Yep. Number 4, another one, the habit of selfish people, never apologizing.
Oh,
That's a
I
big
say
one.
sorry a lot.
A little too much.
I've tried to stop saying sorry and use a replacement word instead. Like, excuse me. So, like, if I bump into someone, I usually say sorry. Instead, I should be like, excuse me.
Yep. Tolly Owen says, dang, all your descriptions of yourself are very similar to my husband, AP. He's good about calling people, checking on them, giving gifts, and very much has a man version of empathy and kindness.
Okay, so her husband is like you. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's just like a masculine thing, like,
Probably.
you got to call people on the phone to really show that you care. That's how I feel about it,
Yeah.
right? When you call somebody, especially in this day and age, it's a special thing to do, So, anyways,
Yeah, I'm not good at calling people.
Not good at calling people. You're just because you're selfish.
Yeah, I'm selfish with my time.
Just kidding. Number 5, being cheap with other people.
Uh-oh.
Yes, being cheap with other people.
You mean with money?
Selfish people are often generous with themselves, but cheap with other people.
No, I'm not generous with myself either.
They spend lavishly on themselves while neglecting the needs of others. Right. So Sigma X01 texted us, dropped a message a few minutes ago saying you can't get to the top of anything significant unless you're a member of the World Economic Forum. Probably true. And thank you, Sigma, for your comment.
You got to play the game to get to the right places.
Well,
Sorry to say that.
It's like, Ron Paul there's like a clip of Ron Paul back in the day where he's like, the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations, and all these different institutions he was calling out for being like power mongers. It's like those institutions in the day were like the power institutions of the day. And nowadays people have different institutions that they use to try and, to grasp at power. But it's kind of like everybody who joins these institutions has some kind of power in government or in business or media or whatever.
They really do. You got to rub the shoulders with the right people.
For sure. We love to hear from our listeners today. You can send us texts at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. I just got a message from Instagram, said that our reel about the French bulldog on the Titanic just crossed 2,000 views. Yeah, we're excited about that one.
Some great videos for Frenchie BS.
Yeah, so
he has a whole history section about Frenchies.
Yeah, so our new website that we launched, that did our hard launch for a week ago, FrenchieBS.com, FrenchieBull.com, FrenchieBull.com. is I've been making some really cool like history of French bulldogs video, and there was a French bulldog who was on the Titanic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but I posted it yesterday. So if you haven't had a chance to check out our website,
if he had one of those little shark floaties, he probably would have made it.
Which we actually have in our shop. Or have we added that to the shop yet?
I don't know yet, but I will be adding it this weekend. So if you don't see it, I'm adding it.
We've got a bunch of dog life preservers this weekend, not just for French bulldogs, but
just so that nobody has to deal with Titanic issues with their dog.
No, hopefully not. But if you haven't checked out our new Frenchie BS website, definitely do that. We've got a lot of great content over there.
Yeah, we've been creating reels, posting memes.
Yeah, and we've been and you've been doing the Frenchie BS show.
The Frenchie BS show with your hosts, George and Kelvin. They are reporting on the breaking news of the day. At least a couple days a week they've been doing this, and they usually talk about dog or pet-related content.
For sure. All right, so we're talking about the things that selfish people do that generous people don't. Where number 5 is being cheap with other people.
Okay.
So if you grew up with a selfish parent, you probably saw them burning money on expensive items like jewelry or clothes. But when it came to you, they either neglected your needs or gave you the cheapest possible option. It's always them above others, even if the others is their own family. On the other hand, if you had a generous parent who understands the value of giving, you might have grown up with them giving more than they could. They might have even got indebted to others just to give what you needed as a child. That's my dad to a T. My dad is the most generous person like in the world. Like he's never cared about material things, really. He's for himself, it's always just about like, the things that he needs to sustain himself.
Like beer and donuts.
Beer and donuts. And if he's got his beer and donuts and his friends and his Corvettes.
Yes.
He's got a couple Corvettes. Those are like the big things that he spent on for himself. But other than that, like everything goes to his kids and now his grandchild, Mario, right? So, I never had that kind of experience because my dad always was, when it was Christmas time, you've seen our Christmas mornings. It's like 50,000 presents.
Yeah.
It's always like that. And it was like that at our house even this last Christmas for all the gifts that we bought for our family.
Yeah,
and stuff.
you're teaching me how to give gifts. So in my family, I was given everything, and that actually made me humble to the extreme. And so basically I feel bad to accept gifts now because I feel like I got so much growing up that I felt like I wasn't deserving of all of that gift giving.
Yeah.
So I'm cheap with myself now, and I'm also cheap with other people. So I'm not good at giving gifts.
Well, what about your family? What was your experience like growing up for you, the listener? Be curious to hear your thoughts. Make sure you drop a comment down there. And if you're watching us live right now, do us a favor, click that like button and also click subscribe. Even if you are watching us later, not live, please do the same thing to help us to grow and spread the message of economic freedom and personal liberty. We got to talk really briefly, speaking of being selfish, we can't be selfish with our friends over at Lear Capital. This is an interesting news story.
Yes.
That I saw this morning. This is brand new breaking news. Take a look at this. Listen to this. Physical gold investment up 5% in first quarter. So we know we've sold some gold this year.
Yep.
Lear Capital let us know that like BX Bullet, for example, she bought some.
Yeah.
She's going to be grateful today. Physical gold investment was up 5% year on year in the first quarter. That's big.
That is great. That's better than any CD.
Yep. Investors bought 302 tons of gold bars and coins in quarter one with a value of $18.4 billion.
Okay.
The surge in the physical gold investment came as gold prices reached record levels in many currencies. Physical demand is up, and the markets are open. It's a good time today. If you've been thinking about getting gold or silver and adding it to your portfolio, not only should you own some gold and silver in your portfolio like your Roth IRA, but it's a good idea to also have some physical coins laying around just in case the World Economic Forum takes over and tries to force us to live in the pod and eat the bugs.
That's right. Yeah, I'm ready to barter with people using my gold.
Here's the deal. Lear Capital will send you a free informational packet about gold and silver today. So if you've been considering investing into gold or silver, today's the day to learn more than I can talk about in just a minute live read for Lear Capital. So what I want to do is not only do I endorse and recommend Lear Capital, but I want you to give them a call today and get that gold and silver packet. Here's the phone number on the screen. Go grab a pen and paper, or if you've got your cell phone and you're watching us right now, you can just have YouTube on in the background, right? And go over and type in this number and save it. 1-800-885-2175. Take this number again. 1-800, easy, 885-2175. Do me a favor, call them today and say, hey, I appreciate that you support the Wake Up America show. I just want you to know I watch Austin Peterson's show how many days a week? And I'm grateful to you guys for supporting the message of freedom because Austin is my favorite show. That's what it is. So say just like that.
They don't bug you. When I signed up, they called me once and just gave me information, and they sent me the packet and sent me even more information so that I could think about my options. And then they just send me like emails telling me about the news in gold and silver, and they'll send you text messages that you can opt out of. But nobody is like calling me weekly, nothing. Nobody's bugging me.
Yeah, it's not a high pressure sales pitch.
Yeah, it's just information, literally. They just want me to be informed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So take this number down and call it today. 1-800-885-2175. Phone calls would be preferred because it really matters a lot when you call them and let them know that you heard from us. That they take that kind of like is the most valuable thing for them. That's what they've said. But I know some of you might be phone averse. So here's what you've got. Just go to learaustin.com if you're phone averse. LEARAUSTIN.com. You can sign up, get your free gold and silver information packet, and then you can learn more about how to invest in gold and silver. Don't be left out, right? Because the deal is this: it's hard to keep your money and not lose it. Even if it's inflation is killing your money, right?
My investments went down yet again.
Yeah. So gold and silver is a great way to maintain your financial security.
Yeah.
You can do that with Lear Capital. Again, that phone number 1-800-885-2175. All right, there we go. So the final thing that we're talking about in this topic here about things that selfish people do, I guess, actually, we've still got a couple more.
Okay.
Being manipulative to get what they want.
Oh.
Manipulation tactics. Stephanie, do you think you're pretty good at knowing when somebody's trying to manipulate you, would you say?
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
If it's someone who's really close to me, it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to analyze people that you know very well rather than people that you don't know very well. I'm better at analyzing strangers, to be quite honest.
Yeah, no, it's true because it's easier when you know somebody how to pull the wool over their eyes, right? So manipulation tactics like deception, flattery, or coercion are the tools of the manipulator to get what they want from you without hesitation or remorse. So a selfish partner will make you feel guilty for not giving them what they wanted, so you end up giving it anyway, even if it's against your wishes.
Right.
Often you won't realize they're guilt tripping you until you tell somebody else about it. So a generous partner will never resort to manipulation. Go ahead, Steph.
I mean, I feel like partners do that in marriages all the time. It's kind of like, oh, do you want me to do the dishes tonight? You know, the way you talk, you know, the way that your voice sounds. And that's almost manipulative, right? When you're like, oh, do you want to do the dishes for me tonight? And then it makes your partner feel bad. So I think we all manipulate each other to an extent for our needs and wants, but I don't think it's like malicious or anything for the most part.
I think manipulation is kind of like deception, right? So like I'm not manipulating someone if I'm using an emotional appeal, right? If the emotion is genuine, right? So like, for example, like sometimes you and I spend time on the phones. And, it's difficult to get people to like become monthly subscribers to the Wake Up America show. And so in order for us to do it, I mean, I can make an emotional appeal right now on the show and say, hey, please support us because we want to try and grow this network and all this kind of stuff. But there's kind of like a reticence that people feel, when they're a crowd, they can kind of hang back. But I know that when I get on the phone and I call people and I say, hey, John Rail, or hey, Cheeky Mayor, or hey, Doug H., or, hey, Jamie Marie Pope, will you please sign up to become a monthly sponsor of the Wake Up America show? Then it's a lot, people might say it's being manipulative. I don't think I'm being manipulative because it is a genuine emotion. I'm like saying, hey, listen, I'm trying to support these ideas that we care about.
Telling them what you want from them. I think manipulation would be if you're like secretly getting something that you're not telling them that you're getting.
Maybe, yeah, right.
If you're like using certain techniques to make them feel bad for you so that they do something that they don't realize they're doing for you. Right.
But I mean, it's hard to sometimes differentiate where it's like, because you do, in order to make to close, right, to close a deal, you have to kind of like put some pressure on, right? Because that's salespeople, it's just what it is. It's like you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You've got to like find a way to close. But there's a difference between like slimy, smarmy salespeople.
Where you're almost lying. A lot of salespeople lie.
A lot of salespeople lie. Which we don't do.
No.
But we do have like our sales tactic is to like call people on the phone and say, hey, listen, this is what we believe in. This is what we're trying to accomplish. Will you support us? And then here's my sales tactic. Then I put you on the phone.
No, I'm the manipulative one. I'm like the kid with candy.
That's how
you want a candy bar?
Yeah, that's what Stephanie and I do. So that's how we've convinced people to sign up for our Peterson's Patriots.
There we go. I'm the manipulator right here.
So I don't manipulate people. I just put Stephanie on the phone and let her manipulate them. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of professions you have to know how to manipulate. In therapy, I am a mind manipulator, truly, because you have to convince people to do certain things to make them to change. So I really do manipulate people. I mean, I purposely
Jamie Marie Pope says manipulation would be telling them they're no longer members of the Cantina crew.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be a way to get them to feel bad.
True.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Yes, no, it's true. She got me there. Yeah, that was totally manipulation. You're right. Oh no,
I think we all manipulate each other. We just don't realize it.
Shoot, you're just manipulating them to not feel like I'm a selfish person.
So maybe we should just say, Jamie, that's so cool that you don't want to be a part of the Cantina crew. Like, we're fine with it.
Yeah,
Live your life.
Jamie,
That's
if you
cool.
don't want to hang out with us or go on the float trips or like, be a part of all those exciting things that we're doing and get any of the credit when we're all hugely successful and stuff like that. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. You can do that, right? We don't
Just let her be. If that's what if she wants peace, we'll give her peace.
Exactly. So you got to worry about it there. Andy Opperman decided to be generous and not selfish and manipulative today and dropped $5 in the tip jar. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
Oh my gosh, he's too good.
Yeah, he is very generous.
Oh,
Andy
he is.
Andy is extremely generous.
And we met his wife too. She's really cool.
Jessie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
she's very generous too.
Jessie's girl.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andy. You're the king. We appreciate you, brother, very much. All right. Hogging the spotlight.
Uh-oh. I might need to leave for this one. I don't know.
Can I get any smaller?
Not pointing any fingers.
Can I get any smaller in my chair here?
I mean, I'm technically in a spotlight right now, but it's really, really bright.
Okay. Yeah. All right. This one's going to be a little bit rough for APs.
I like you to be in the spotlight. I'm the one who likes to be backstage. I'm the roadie. I like to be behind the scenes. That's my goal.
You have been like coming in and helping me set up in the morning.
Yeah.
So
I do, like, even for my own birthday parties. I never enjoyed my own birthday parties. I liked to go to other people's birthday parties so they could be in the spotlight.
Well, it's way more fun to not have to do any cleanup or any work of setup and all that stuff too, right?
And I don't like everybody looking at me and expecting me to be really joyous when I open gifts that I feel uncomfortable receiving.
This is okay. I guess I'm a selfish person. Selfish people often hog the spotlight because they want all the attention.
Yeah.
And the recognition to themselves. Now, I'm okay with sharing recognition, but I do want the attention, and I would prefer to have all of it.
And that's why you and I mix really well, because I'm fine with taking the back seat. And I'm fine with putting you in the front seat, the driver's seat.
Yeah. Your selfish classmate or coworker probably often seeks out opportunities to shine and showcase their talent or accomplishments, even when the situation doesn't call for it. If you're a highly accomplished person, you might find them trying to outshine you often.
Yeah.
Try to observe their behavior. If they dominate conversations, cut you or other people off when speaking, or actively fish for other people's compliments by denigrating themselves, those are signs of a selfish, attention-seeking person. I don't denigrate myself.
So what does denigrate mean?
That's when you like cut yourself down because you're fishing for compliments. It's like, oh my God, I'm so ugly. I feel so ugly today.
No, you don't do that. Instead, you're just like, I love my shirt. My shirt is so nice. And then like other people are like, yeah, we love your shirt. Yeah. So it's like, instead you actually compliment yourself and other people compliment you while you're complimenting yourself.
But here's the thing. Don't people deserve to have the spotlight? And like,
it's very hard, yes.
Right. And don't some people deserve to have compliments and deserve to be celebrated?
We all deserve compliments. We all deserve to feel loved.
Some people deserve compliments more than others.
No, you are not better than anybody else.
But
we're all human.
But haven't some people, I don't believe that, haven't some people accomplished things in their lives perhaps and done wonderful things and helped other people and been wonderful?
Brag about it. I say proof is in walking the walk and talking the talk.
Yes.
Just be yourself. Show others what you're doing.
Yeah,
and they're going to be impressed naturally.
Here's the thing. Yeah. If I weren't deserving of the attention and the spotlight, would Jamie Marie Pope have just said, for the record, me running for office, is partially AP's fault. He shouldn't empower people in this way. Well, there you go.
Right.
See, exactly. I empower people.
Yeah, I mean, you really do have this confidence about you. I mean, even in karate class this week when you were leading our warm-up, everybody just was respecting you and listening to you, you're like, say os, and like the whole crowd is os. You know, they never say os except when you tell them to.
Mm-hmm.
So you just know how to command people to
Command
do things.
respect.
It's this like power that comes from
there's
you.
something about it. Yeah. You know,
I don't know what it is.
You know what it is? Is it's just a lifetime of being on the stage, you know, after a while. But the karate
you just have a confidence when you present.
There was something this week, and I love that I can preen a little bit here.
We're stroking that ego.
Just forgive me. It's Friday. I feel like I could use a little bit before we get the weekend. I need to get topped up before
with
the
some
weekend.
of that CBD lube. Stroking it.
Yes. Rare Camellia says words of affirmation are Austin's love language. LOL. Yes.
That's right.
Corey C says his shirt is awesome. It's true. Thank you.
That's right. Your shirt is awesome. There we go.
Exactly. Buddy Mansour says that's vanity. Yes. This is America.
You're vain,
is a
right?
nation that can be defined in a single word. I was
It's true. I am vain.
Excuse me.
Yes. That's why the people were giving me crap for owning a French bulldog yesterday because they were like, French bulldogs can't swim. What kind of dog is that? And I'm like, I don't need a dog that swims.
Right. We're not going on the Titanic and bringing our dog with us.
Exactly. I don't need a dog that swims to like rescue me or anything like that. I don't live in the woods. I need a dog that signals my social status and credit score.
Yeah.
Number eight on the list of things that make someone selfish, thinking that they don't owe anyone anything. At some point, all of us have thought at least once that we don't owe anyone anything.
Mm-hmm.
This might be because we were raised to fend for ourselves or have gone through a tough time where there was no one to help us. But when you meet kind, generous people, you start to get a better understanding of the world. You start to realize that we all owe each other kindness.
Yeah.
Selfish people might be selfish because they have not gotten to that point yet. They may feel that they have worked hard to achieve what they have and therefore do not owe anyone anything. It's generous people who never think they don't owe anyone anything. They think they owe it to others to be kind, which is why they're charitable.
Yeah.
And maybe we could learn a thing or two from them because the world truly needs more kindness and generosity. Your thoughts?
But yeah, I mean, owe anybody anything? Sure. Like in terms of strangers, I technically don't owe strangers anything, but I think the people who are in my circle, those are the people that I think I definitely owe things to.
Mm-hmm.
General, I guess, in the world, we need to just be kind to each other, but we don't have to go to an extreme, I don't think.
A little bit more kindness, I think everybody could really do with some appreciation.
Yeah, just smiling. Smile at the person that you pass on the street. Say hello. I mean, those are ways to show kindness. You don't have to like give someone a $100 bill when they're panhandling on the side of the road. Like I never give money to homeless people or to panhandlers because I just don't trust them myself. So I don't know. Does that make me not generous?
Barney Stiles, who is a gold member of the Ninja Crew, says, I appreciate that AP hustles for the money. I listen to other podcasts that complain they aren't successful, but they don't have merch, they don't self-promote, they don't go on other shows. Yeah, you got to hustle.
Yeah,
if you're
you have to be annoying if you want to be successful.
Talk about that for a second, being annoying, because I do get messages from people sometimes who are like, they say they're like annoyed by my posts about like merch, or they're like annoyed that I'm like posting about t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. But you like have kind of learned a lesson lately about being annoying. Go ahead.
I have. Well, I've always been a serial entrepreneur and I've tried to get businesses off the ground. And the one thing that's held me back is I'm afraid to promote myself. And that's why I never became successful, because I was afraid to go to businesses, talk to them, sell my product, talk about it. You have to do that. You have to be confident enough to look someone in the eye and be like, I need this from you. And not worry if you're burdening them, not worry if you're annoying them, inconveniencing them.
It's true, especially when we first start our phone calls for fundraising for the show. Is that you get on the phone there and it's scary asking people for money, right? But like you have to have like a game plan and you have to be willing to do it. Because the thing is honestly, the first few months that we started the show, before Lear Capital came in and before like anything, like it was the donors, the monthly donors.
That's all we had.
Katie Vogels. That's literally, it was just the Cantina crew.
Right.
Because I think when we did like our taxes this year, I think that the initial spend on all the studio equipment to get everything where it was up to speed was conservatively, it was like $7 or $8 grand.
Yeah.
Unconservatively, probably over 10 grand.
Right.
And a lot of that money had to come from the donors who stepped in. Like Edie gave us $500, right? Quest gave us money. Camellia is a 1776 monthly supporter. Chris Morrill and all these people who have like become monthly supporters. If it weren't for the Cantina crew to get us at Kickstart and keep us funded on that monthly basis, we might have folded up already, because there are just some days we don't sell any merch, right? And there are just some days when we don't get any super chats, and they're just but with our approach of going for sponsors, bringing in the monthly subscribers, running the merch shop, getting calls, doing calls, and like trying to promote advertising and things like that, like we've been able to be successful, so that the Wake Up America show has continued to grow and add new networks on top of things. And honestly, I'm really excited about the future, because the monthly subscribers, that initial base, is what is like, okay, it's a guarantee, because we know like Lear Capital and Shock CBD, they love us, they want to support us,
right?
But if we don't move gold and CBD, eventually they're just not going to maintain the sponsorship, because they can't. It wouldn't make sense.
And in order to get those items to sell, you have to talk about them and be annoying.
For sure. You have exactly.
You have to do that in order to get the reward.
Right. And I see it sometimes on the live stream where it'll be like a number of people that are watching, and then when I start doing my commercial, they'll be like, they'll disappear, and it's like I can't help it. I have to do it. I have to do it. I have to do it. I have to be annoying, right?
It's like, sure, everyone wants to be a YouTuber, but you don't really realize that just being a YouTuber and making videos, that really doesn't make you much money. Like, you're going to make sense from a video.
Yeah. So like I make these history videos, and they get millions of views.
Yeah.
And if they get millions of views, I might make $20 on the video, total. But the whole point is to get them to subscribe to the channel and then join us in the Wake Up America show. And then hopefully they might buy some merch, or hopefully they might buy some gold. Hopefully they might become a monthly subscriber. But the video making itself, all that, like, it doesn't actually do anything.
No.
Like
I mean, that's worse than what people make in the Middle East.
Yeah. The Cantina crew rocks. Thank you, John Rail, for the tip.
Thank you, John.
We appreciate you, brother. We know you're a monthly subscriber too, as well. And we're grateful because all of those things, all of the support that we get from you in this community helps guarantee that that Monday morning we are going to be right here. Now, the next story we're going to talk about, Stephanie, is older women are sharing.
Oh, this is going to boil my blood.
It is. Older women are sharing puzzling things that younger women do these days. And the generational divide is real. Now, before we get to this story, though, Stephanie, and I know it feels like we've already been doing a commercial, but I do want to say for sure that today is the day to check out our sponsor.
Oh, I have to take my vitamins.
Shock CBD. I want you to talk about this, Stephanie, because you love this ashwagandha. I have never heard about this before.
Yep.
But you have. Talk to us about this.
Okay. So in terms of CBD itself and like the psychoactive properties of like Delta 8, that makes me nervous. I don't like to mess with my brain. I like to be in control. So there's also other products that don't make your brain change. I mean, they make it change, but you can't feel it. So there's also some supplements such as elderberry and vitamin C. So these are gummies. They don't have CBD in them. Apple cider vinegar, and then ashwagandha. So ashwagandha, it helps with hormones, aiding in energy levels, mood support, daily stress. I actually used to take this to help with my anxiety. And the elderberry really helps with your immune system. And the apple cider vinegar, I used to take shots of apple cider vinegar, and it tastes disgusting by itself. Like, it literally burns your mouth. But these are really tasty gummies. You're supposed to take 2 of them. I always take 1 because I don't like to use so many, but I probably should take 2. But they're really yummy. And I was talking to Austin the other day. I was like, how do they make these things that taste really bad taste really yummy in gummy form? And I really don't understand it.
Well, you can find out by visiting our sponsor at shellshockcbd.com. Our friend John Burke is generously sponsoring the Wake Up America show today. And I'm going to tell you this. I was very skeptical about Delta 8 because I had tried it before. And it didn't do anything for me when I was at the Renaissance Festival in Kansas City. And then the other night I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm going to try this at like 8 o'clock at night. Big mistake. I was feeling silly all evening.
He really was.
So make sure you check out our sponsor, shellshockcbd.com.
But you were really productive. You were like making things for the shop.
See, like it always has the opposite effect on me that it has for most people.
Yep.
For me, it makes me wired. But yeah, check it out at shellshockcbd.com. Just so you know, we've got a 10% off discount code for any of these items. You use code AP4Liberty. That's AP, the number 4, AP4Liberty. I love doing this, like the home shopping network and stuff like that. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
You can see my wedding ring there. But he's got a bunch of awesome products. These gummies are like freaking nuclear bombs. The gummies, Delta 8, and
they literally
CBD
make
products.
you fall out.
Yeah, it's insane. So check them out over there at shellshockcbd.com. Use that coupon code for 10% off AP4Liberty.
They even have lube, and we've been talking about it. I mean, apparently it makes your pleasure better.
Yeah.
That's what the lube says.
Okay,
So.
maybe that's gonna be for the AP after hours show. So
Yeah.
anyways, we've gotta give some shout outs very quick here to
Oh, really?
Yep, to Jamie Marie Pope. She dropped $5 and it says manipulation works.
Yay!
Yes.
Continue to manipulate.
And Joni Rankin is matching John, and she dropped in $5. Thank you, Joni.
You guys.
You guys are awesome. We appreciate you very much. We're doing our best.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you guys ready for some more fun? Studio 314 had to go. Boo.
Sorry. Have a good weekend.
We will miss you very much. Tali Owen says ashwagandha and holy basil helped me tremendously during a very stressful period. Big believer in those two.
Amen. Yeah, I'm kind of a health freak, so
Doug,
I like
Doug
this
says
stuff.
he's with Steffi on that one. I don't drink or do other stuff because the anxiety of not being in control is too overwhelming. Gotcha.
Yeah. I call it a natural high. I'm just always naturally high.
Yeah, for sure. Have a great National Tampon Day, says Al Johnson.
It's National Tampon Day?
Yeah.
Really?
I have no idea.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
We're talking about older women are sharing
Speaking of tampons.
Exactly. Older women are sharing puzzling things that younger women do these days, and the generational divide is real. Corey C dropped $5, and thank you, Corey.
Whoa.
You're the man. Look at us. We're manipulating.
And we're admitting that we're manipulating. So manipulators, if you want to still manipulate, just tell people you're manipulating them, and then it'll be cool.
Or just be honest, transparent about what you're doing.
Just be like, look, I'm manipulating you. Are you cool with that?
We're running
great.
a podcast. We're capitalists. We want to be millionaires, but when we have the money to invest in spreading the ideas of freedom, we're going to do that, right? Yeah, for sure. All right. Older women are sharing puzzling things that younger women do these days, and the generational divide is real. As a 30-year-old woman, the woman who wrote this, I noticed plenty of differences in the trends that are popular among my generation compared with those my mother and her age group consider normal. And don't even get me started about my younger sister and her Generation Z peers, who often make me feel like an old lady already at 30. So it caught my eye when a Redditor asked older women of Reddit, what is something younger women are doing that puzzles you? Here's what some people said. Anal.
Oh. I mean, people have been doing that for a long time.
Please reaction. Did I have the camera on her or not? I don't know if I caught her reaction for that. Please God, hope that I did.
I do know girls are like, they like the choking thing. That's a thing that these young girls like. I don't know. Maybe people like that back in the day. I just wasn't aware.
Oh my God. Okay. If your kids are listening in right now, it's time to stop. The last 30 minutes of the show is going to get weird. Okay. All right. They should like the choking thing. Oh my God. Yeah.
They're a little bit more aggressive, I guess, sexually.
Drop a super chat for the choking. Can confirm. Number one, crying on the internet. This is the first. You and I have talked about this a lot lately.
Yes.
Because we will watch YouTube clips of TikToks of like girls who are talking about how they can't get a man, or like women who are, I won't say past their prime, but women who are above the age of, they're over the age of 20. And maybe they're divorced, right?
Yeah.
Crying on the internet. I'm talking full on snot bubble crying. Maybe it's my childhood trauma talking, but I can't fathom having an awful thing happen to me and then taking out my phone to tell my followers about it. I just bury it deep and slap on a smile like my mom taught me to do. Yes. When I see people on the internet, and it's not mostly guys, right?
Yeah.
When I see women on the internet and they're full on like crying their freaking eyes out into their camera and then uploading it to the internet, my already lowered expectations and respect level just continues to go lower.
It's definitely sad fishing. And I also would say, don't just push it down and smile either. What I would probably do is just put the phone away and go cry. Go take a shower, go cry, go write in a journal, go take a walk. Have a healthy outlet for your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, like, it's cool to call a friend or a family member and you can cry to them and talk to them. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But when you post it on Snapchat, I mean, what do you want people to do?
Yeah.
Maybe they want people to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what you want, just tell people, hey, I'm really sad right now. Can you talk to me?
I get that. It's just to me a little bit weird.
Yeah. I mean, do we need proof that there's tears falling? I don't know.
Holly Owen says, I freaking hate the crying photos.
Yeah.
Doug H says, leave Brittany alone. Yes, remember that video?
Oh, so
leave Brittany alone.
She started the crying, and that was back in the early 2000s,
no,
right?
They're talking about that.
Oh,
the gay guy. Remember the gay guy who was like on there? He's like, leave Brittany alone.
That was even in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Well, that was so for women and gay men on the internet posting themselves crying and their like faces all puffed up and red and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just freaking weird. Okay.
I cried on camera when you gave me the Japan trip surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm like those people.
Well, that's a little different because you didn't know what was going to happen, right?
Like, let me post a selfie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Number 2, buccal. We're talking about things that older women are confused that younger women are doing these days. It's gotten popular, but it's called buccal fat removal.
I don't know what this is.
It's permanent. It means your body will never make more of it. Buccal fat removal ages the face immediately, which isn't a problem for most women in their 20s. But as they do actually age, there is a high likelihood they will need to constantly get fillers for the rest of their lives to combat the side effects of significant premature aging.
Why do you want to age your face?
Because you don't want to be fat.
Oh my gosh. So it makes your lines in your face appear on your jawline.
Right. But it makes you age faster. You would think that aging would be the thing that you would, because fat, you can lose fat.
Right.
But you can't turn back the clock.
Exactly.
Buccal fat removal.
I was thinking it would be for the thighs. Like I could get some fat removal for my thighs. That'd be okay.
Mm-hmm. But then here's the thing. I still think that it's doing stuff like that is dangerous.
I agree. You're messing with nature.
Yeah, unless we're talking about boob jobs, in which case that's okay.
Right, you're okay with that.
Boob jobs are fine.
Yeah.
Number 3, they are so good at makeup. Younger people, the older women the older generation is like ladies are like looking at the younger ladies saying they're so good at makeup. I don't know if it's because they have better products,
right?
The availability of tutorial videos, or both. But they all look amazing. Meanwhile, women of my generation were walking around with orange faces and smudged eyeliner.
Yes.
Jealous.
I mean, looking at pictures from when I was in college, my eyebrows, my sister taught me how to pluck my eyebrows, and they were so thin and like over plucked. And so they looked really janky. And then like my eyeliner, it was just like really dark, and I didn't have those wings or anything. We didn't have TikTok tutorials or YouTube tutorials. I mean, we just learned from our siblings or our parents how to do makeup. Yeah. That's about it.
Buccal fat removal is spelled B-U-C-C-A-L. They were asking about that over the live stream.
I wonder if it's like liposuction or if it's really different.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Our friend Nelson65 over on Rumble. Good morning, Nelson. He says, I think it's a disconnect on the crying thing.
Yeah.
Because there really isn't someone there when they were crying.
Right.
So it's easier for them to do that. But I mean, they probably wouldn't do that in front of a crowd.
So maybe they just feel silly being vulnerable with other people. And so if they're by themselves with their camera, then they can be more open.
Cheeky Mirror,
that makes sense.
Cheeky Mirror asks, define good at makeup. The contour makeup thing is just pretty clown makeup.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. When I go to get facials, yes, I do get some dermaplaning done because it makes my skin better. But when I see the ladies that do it, their makeup looks hideous. And they do makeup tutorials at this place. And I'm like, what the heck?
Yep.
You don't even know how to do your own makeup. Why would I let you do mine?
Yes. Todd in Minnesota says, remind yourself, I'm a badass motherfucker and you'll never cry. Remind yourself, I suck. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say there, Todd. Anyway.
Remind yourself that you suck.
No. Remind yourself, I suck. I have no idea.
Embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck? I have
That's
no idea.
right.
All right, I do embrace the suck. Number 4, blasting pictures of their young children over social media to their 1,000 or so followers. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of talked about this as we're wanting to plan a family. I don't know if I really want to share our children on social media that openly, especially as they get older.
Really?
Because once they start going to school, having friends, I mean, their friends are probably going to hear from their parents, oh, we saw Austin Peterson's kid on social media. This is what Austin said today. I don't know. It could get messy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, again, we're not like a celebrity couple. I mean, we're like a D-list celebrity couple.
I mean, a lot of people on social media, they like put little emojis on their kids' faces to hide them. So they still put their kids in photos, but they like blur out their face.
Though I guess like the reason why you might want to do something like that is like if like security reasons. So like let's say that like you and I like our business is successful and we start to become a real big threat to like the Democrats, for example, right? Then they could go after your kids, right? And then there is a danger to them. So they're in that situation scenario, I guess I can understand.
Yeah, we wouldn't want kids, you know, showing up at our kids' school, trying to bully them, or
just creepers,
or groomers.
Yeah. Corey C. He says that I'm very careful of my kids on social media. Creepers out there. Good point. Yeah,
absolutely.
Poperoni, who's been one of our new followers. Good morning, Poperoni. Nice to see you. He says that we have a WEF warrior as the new head of Twitter. FUCK. Yes.
Yes.
Children can't consent, says Cheeky Mirror, even to having their photos on the internet. That's true, but I mean, like, you know, just a picture of your baby, you know?
Right. I mean, a baby, I get it because your kid is going to look so different once they're 2, 3, 4 years old. So a baby photo, really, nobody's going to recognize them.
Yes.
But I think any older than that, once they get to probably 4 and up, that's when people start talking and judging.
This next one, like, so I live my life in public, right? So I'm like, you know, a person who is forever online.
You are. You are.
Tweeting where I'm at, tweeting what I'm doing, right? But here's the thing. So one of the things that this list criticizes is letting everyone on the internet know exactly where you are at all times.
Yeah.
Everyone knows everyone else's schedule these days thanks to social media. It seems a bit nuts. And that did get me in trouble when I had that stalker.
You know, I actually used to post where I was all the time and I took tons of selfies, but it was because I was unhappy and lonely. And I realized that after I became happy, because now that I'm really happy, I find myself not thinking that I need to post things on social media. I don't know if that's the same for everyone, but just for me at least, I just feel content just sharing memories with myself.
Joni Rankin says, Steph, come see me in Springfield for dermaplaning.
Oh, do you do dermaplaning? Joni, you do it for people?
If she does, and we'll have to go visit.
Oh my gosh, I love dermaplaning because I get acne, and so it helps with my acne.
Yeah, Luke just invited me to go see Ben Folds with him this October and stuff like that in Springfield. So if you want to go, we want to go see Ben Folds. We got to get some tickets. So.
I would love to.
Yeah, good boy.
I've been wanting to go to a concert for so long because coming from the Detroit area in Michigan, we had so many concert opportunities. But here in Missouri, there's like barely anything. It's just like country bands pretty much.
John Rail says, I know this is an eye of the beholder thing, but so many women don't realize they don't need makeup. Their natural beauty is stunning. I see it every day.
Oh my gosh. When I see people online and they like paint on their eyebrows and like put fake eyelashes on, I'm like, you look so unnatural. You look more beautiful just yourself.
Well, I'm going to take the opposite tack of that and say, ladies, some of y'all need put on some.
Sure. Some people makeup makes them look better.
No, I'm going to actually be even more cruel and just say the funny thing is when you see an attractive guy versus an attractive girl, typically the attractive girl's got makeup on, but the attractive guy doesn't.
Well, he never does, except from Green Day.
Yeah. If you're talking about like a guy on stage or in a show, but like just think about it on average. The typical like man that you see that is an attractive man is attractive without makeup.
Yes.
Versus the typical attractive female, the reason she's attractive is because she's got a lot of work done on her face. So
isn't that funny?
That is a nice thing about men.
Why is it that women are so ugly naturally?
Well,
I don't know.
You have to understand, like men are just naturally more beautiful, right? And women really have to do a lot in order to not be so dumpy.
So maybe we need to stop doing our makeup, and then evolution can take over, and then it'll make the pretty women continue on without makeup.
For sure.
Maybe that's what'll happen.
For sure. Poperoni's probably confused when he came in because we talked about the WEF chick a little bit earlier.
Oh yes, we've moved on.
We've moved on. So now we're talking about things that older women are sharing that puzzle them about younger women. Here's another one that I can't relate, but big fluffy false eyelashes.
Yes. Women love getting fillers on their eyelashes. They're not happy with the eyelashes that they were given naturally. They need them to be poofy.
Yeah, that's the thing is I've always thought I had nice eyelashes. I have big, beautiful eyelashes. But here's the thing. Maybe it's that you just need to stop messing with your eyelashes because I've never ever messed with my eyelashes in my life ever. And I have big, beautiful, puffy eyelashes. But
I mean, for me, I'm a redhead, so my eyelashes are lighter naturally, so they don't stand out. So that's why I do wear mascara, but I don't get false eyelashes because they make my eyes feel tired and droopy. So I can't wear them.
Camellia says, I have never gotten wearing a lot of makeup. That's just uncomfortable. Not to mention it's like using a filter. Camellia, I'm pretty sure you're the one who like inspired John Marsh's joke about chicken butt red lipstick. Have we ever?
Was he the one who came up with that? I wondered where that came from.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Camellia is like the makeup queen in our friend group.
She does wear makeup. She does.
Yeah. Camellia, I think you probably.
But in terms of, we call it cake makeup. The old people call it cake makeup, which is where you literally put foundation all over your face and there's like a whole film as if you have frosting. Yeah, like I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't do that either.
And I don't think she does either.
Yeah, for sure. So, you got to be really careful because, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, wrong camera. Hold on.
Yeah, he wears makeup, you guys.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. You know what I do feel bad for in terms of guys? Yeah. When you get a zit, you can't use cover up unless you ask a girl for it.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I actually used to know a guy and he would ask me for my cover up because of his acne. And it's like, why can't they make cover up for guys? Guys get zits too.
Camellia says, I didn't say any makeup. I said a lot. I don't know.
Okay, Camellia, so there's a spectrum for makeup. There's like none and then a lot.
Lipstick is it's a lot.
A good balance. It's a good balance.
We're just kidding, CJ. We're just kidding. All right, so let's move.
Just as Scott Fawn walked through the studio, he heard us.
Hilarious. Scott was just in the studio. He was laughing too.
He was commenting about Camellia.
Number 7, a list of things that older women do that younger women do that older women don't understand. Number 7 is taking pictures of yourself all the time, doing mundane activities, even as a younger person. I can't imagine doing this.
I used to do that when I was a teenager. Like when webcams and stuff first became a thing. Like I remember it was cool to, just like take a picture of you while you're like at the computer typing to your friends. But that was like before selfies. But I know it was cool to still take pictures of yourself, like back in the early 2000s.
Poperoni says, I figured you had moved on from that WEF topic.
Yes.
He says that I'm just kind of here for the ride with enjoyable people. Great. Glad to have you here. He says, Austin's pretty enough as a man to wear makeup, so it's no biggie. Pretty enough as a man to wear makeup, so. Al Johnson says, need a new TV. What is worse, TV or online watching? Well, you can watch us on TV. Because
on the big screen.
Yeah, you can the Rumble app.
Yeah.
Jamie Marie Pope says, I have a more natural look, mostly because I don't have a steady hand. Haha, I can't do eyeliner.
Eyeliner is so hard.
Steven Crowder. We were watching Steven Crowder last night, and he's got some thick eyeliner on his show.
Ask him for some eyeliner tips.
I need to do some eyeliner on this show. What do you think? Maybe some like black eyeliner here.
There's a lot of actors like Green Day, Johnny Depp.
Yep.
I mean, they wear eyeliner and they do pretty good with it.
What do you think? You guys, should I come in here with some eyeliner on here on Monday morning?
You used to be in a band. I have a thing for band guys, so I love that you play guitar and you've been in a band.
Stephanie, you are horny for me 24 hours a day.
Oh my God, always.
Number 8.
Yeah.
I'm the
one that asked John Burke for lube, so I'll take credit for that. Yep, that was me.
Oh my God. All right, number nine. The things that younger women are doing that older women don't understand. This show is really getting wild. All the photos that they take making the same sexy face and poses.
Oh, the duck face?
Yeah. The duck face was big for a while, but like now, like everything is kind of like, they do the angles, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like the top angle and stuff like that. So if you're fat, you kind of like get rid of your double chin.
I'm watching girls in Japan do a photo shoot at a hotel.
I
It
know.
was so funny.
Yeah, it is weird for people doing TikTok videos in public.
Uh-huh.
You see that, right? But back when I was younger, this woman says, you'd be teased if someone even caught you checking yourself out in a window reflection. I just find it weird that women will now make a sexy pose to a camera that they're holding themselves. It is kind of odd.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10 on this list, because we're getting down to the wire, announcing their travel plans.
Oh, I guess we did that.
There are so many people who travel often and feel the need to post every time they're at the airport, like heading out to Miami, whatever.
I did
right?
that.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
cool. Now everybody who has access to your social media account knows that your house is empty. But with the Ring doorbell camera,
Yeah, we've got protection.
we do, and we will frequently have people stop by our house.
Our neighbor is in the military.
And our neighbor watches the house.
Oh, he watches the house.
Yeah, which is nice.
And our neighbor behind us is a policeman.
Exactly. And
so
they watch the
we've got
house.
protection.
Yeah, we do. Which is nice. Right. Number 11 on this list of things that younger women do that older women are puzzled by is they say, I cringe when I hear young women say they don't want to go to college or work. Their entire life plan is to marry rich and live off a man. That sounds like trad wives.
Sugar daddy. That's what women want nowadays.
Yep. Well,
yep.
Nowadays, please. Everyone nowadays, forever.
Well, openly. I guess openly, like OnlyFans. That's what they can admit to wanting now.
Yeah. Every woman should make sure she completes college, has a career, and makes a life for herself. Always be able to support yourself and not be trapped. Okay, good idea to be able to support yourself. However, not every woman has to go to college.
Okay, you don't have to go to college to be successful.
Not every woman has to have a career. Not every woman has to make a life for herself.
Well, just because I saw what happened when divorce occurs, I say to every person in a relationship, married or not, protect yourself. Just make sure that you keep up on your skills enough to know that you can support yourself if you have to.
Well, but who is this woman to tell other women what to do? Right? Like every woman should make sure she completes college, has a career, and makes a life for yourself.
Right. Like in terms of the college thing, no. But I think every woman and man should make sure they can take care of themselves no matter what.
Cheeky Mare says, I'd love to be a trad wife.
Oh, cheeky.
Boys.
Uh-oh.
She's right there. You just know that these libertarians are not even going to approach her either, man. Some people need to be sliding into some DMs.
I know. Cheeky, slide into some DMs.
No, it's slide into DMs. You should. The woman needs. We were talking about this last night. The woman needs to be chased.
Well, no. I've always been the one to approach.
Yeah.
So
you approached me.
Yes, I did.
All right. Number 12 on this list.
That's right.
Tracking one another's locations. I teach high school math, and my students have tracking apps so they can see exactly where their friends are at all time.
Yes. It's this Life 360 thing, or also like the Google tracking.
Google Maps.
Yes. I don't get it. But apparently people just have such anxiety that if somebody doesn't respond to a text or a call within 5 minutes, they start freaking out and they want to know where these people are. But I'm like, you know what? Some of it, I wonder if you just don't trust this person, if it's your partner and you're wondering if they're cheating and you really want to check up on that. Wonder if part of it is just, lack of trust.
Susie Q is upset. She says, and she's on Rumble, she says that who cares about this conversation? Why are you judging people? Who cares? If they're happy, let them be happy.
Of course, we're libertarians. Yeah, we believe in that.
We believe in that, Susie.
Yeah.
We're reading this article from someone else.
Yeah, who's probably not a libertarian.
It's on BuzzFeed, so it's definitely not a libertarian. But please understand, we are sharing this from someone else's point of view, and then we're commenting on it.
And it's okay to have your own opinions. Like if you think fake eyelashes are cool, that's cool. I wore them at my friend's wedding once.
Yeah.
But in terms of our personal views, it's okay to have those, but also to respect others to do what they want.
For sure. And Susie Q, she must be on the part of the on board with the patriarchy. She says all of nature works this way. Males are always more brilliant. Very funny. Yes, very true.
Yes, I mean you are more brilliant than I. Yes, I always say that.
Say that again, Stephanie, one more time. It's on camera. Go ahead.
You are more brilliant than me. Well, thank you, Susie Q, for your input. We do appreciate different viewpoints because we don't want to just be singing to the choir.
Absolutely.
That's not what this is about.
Exactly. And we're glad to have you here, Susie Q. If you're enjoying the content otherwise, make sure that you click that like button if you're watching us over on Rumble or on YouTube. The show is almost over. It's time for us to start wrapping it up. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can help us to spread the message of economic freedom and personal liberty, and you can get more great freedom news in your feed on a daily basis. So you get some benefits as well. All right. What else did we have on this list? We're going to have to hurry on. Today's wedding trends, 5 parties, 2 wedding dresses, B and C guest lists. Like, just get married, right?
Yeah, it seems so much old school. I'm like, go to the courthouse and get married. That's what I usually am about.
Here's another one. They say, I'm bewildered by women who do not prioritize the ability to support themselves. Oh, please, just mind your own business, lady. Van life and the whole glamour around it. Yeah, I don't think living in a van would.
It would be very pretty in terms of finding a shower.
Yep. Wearing comfy shoes like sneakers to the club instead of heels. I'm not mad at it. I'm just mad I never did that.
I'll always remember on my 21st birthday, I went out to get these special flat black shoes just to wear my clubbing outfit with, and they hurt my feet so bad. If only I could have worn sneakers.
Here we go. Number 18, sending nudes to men they're not dating and talking to guys. Just go on a few dates. Decide if you want a relationship.
Yes.
You've been talking for a few months now. It's weird to me. Number 19.
I think Snapchat needs to be banned because people just open up way too much before they're actually with somebody.
The wildness of the bachelorette parties. They don't understand these crazy hotel flights, expenses. The trend is untenable, right? A bachelorette party just meant one fun night out in your hometown or city. Now there are these gigantic events.
I didn't have a bachelorette party because I love you too much and I don't like to be wild without you.
I am actually amazed by young women's self-confidence these days, this woman says. So many of the amazing young adults I meet just scream confidence.
No. These girls are not confident, okay? These girls that you see on TikTok, they are not confident.
There's like 4 or 5 more on this list, and we're just not going to be able to get through them all because the show is basically over.
Oh, my blood is starting to boil, too.
We want to say thank you to all of our friends on the Cantina crew, as well as our Rumble crew this morning, and over on Boxcast Spreely app. Very nice to see you all today. Very libertarian stuff. Banning, says Cheeky Mare. She's calling you out.
Hey, my personal opinion.
Exactly.
I'm not president.
Exactly. All right. So we got to run, though. And thank you to all of you who are watching. If you haven't, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And do check out our sponsor over at shellshockcbd.com. All these great products. Stephanie's got her ashwagandha here. Again, the website is shellshockcbd.com. Check them out over there, and you can get a 10% discount if you use code AP4Liberty. Again, shellshockcbd.com. I'm going to try some of these this weekend because it's finally time to party. Good. All right, Steffi, say goodbye. Give him a kiss. Blow him a kiss.
I'm so bad at blowing kisses.
Yes. I'm an expert to it. Joni Rankin, off to work. Have a great weekend.
Bye, Joni. Tell me more about this dermaplaning, Joni.
Yeah. Slide into Steffi's DMs and let her know. We'd love to hear more about it. All right. We'll see you guys. Steffi, we'll see you next week.
Yes.
And I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend on the Wake Up America Show at wakeupamericashow.com.
I like shooting things, but whenever I can't shoot something, I like to cut things. My life isn't all about shooting and stabbing and cutting, though. Sometimes I have to do actual work, but when I work, I still like to have fun. And there's nothing less fun than trying to cut with a crappy knife. Thankfully, from the ancient sect of Christian knights, who also loved cutting and stabbing, comes a new implement that has received my personal blessing, the Templar knife. Like the ancient sword of Excalibur, you don't choose a Templar knife, it chooses you. You just decide what kind you want on the website first, however, and then order it online, and then it chooses you. The Templar knife comes in a variety of shapes. As a man of culture and taste, I have decided I will never use a terrible knife again. And thanks to the inspiration provided by this excellent product, I have decided to launch a new crusade against anyone using less than superior knives. Join me, brothers and sisters, by visiting uppercuttactical.com/pages/Templar-knives. That's a lot of slashes. For that, you'll need a Templar knife. For 10% off, use code AP for Liberty and join me in a quest for glory, for liberty, for Christendom, for the Templar knife. Get yours today.
Fire.
Hello, this is Barack Obama, and let me tell you why Austin Peterson stinks, and you should never pay attention to anything that he has to say. First of all, he's a libertarian, and we all know libertarians are idiots. They don't realize how important government is to everything that we do. I recently became aware that Austin has opened up a libertarian shop at apforlibertyshop.com. Now, I'm asking you as a personal favor to me that you never ever visit apforlibertyshop.com. With all of the great Liberty merchandise there, the last thing that we need to do is to get people spreading this message around the country, because then they might start thinking that they don't need government. And that's the last thing that good Democrats like us want. So if you love democracy, like me, and hate freedom, then don't visit AP for Liberty Shop. Like I said, whatever you do, do not visit apforlibertyshop.com. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Want an engaging website to boost your business? You're just a click away from 5-star Fiverr talent. Hundreds of freelancer skills like web design. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the streets, and new laws are needed at every level. But law alone cannot make men see right.